His hand grasped on my hip, squeezed, and his blue eyes softened as he hiked the strap of his duffel bag up onto his arm and angled his body in my direction. "We'll be fine, babe. Always have been, always will be." I probably would have believed that statement had it possessed any ounce of truth. His delivery was convincing enough. It was the subject matter I had a harder time believing. But even still, the hypnotizing effect Lance had on me since the day of our first phone call hadn't yet worn off. If anything, it had only intensified. I wasn't sure how he was always able to do that, but I figured it had to be some gene passed down to him throughout the generations of charmers that branched out of his family tree. I knew very little about DNA, but was pretty positive there was a strand specifically tied to this Casanova gene somewhere in that twisty double helix of his. I stared straight over his shoulder at the wall listing departures and arrivals, the glowing red numbers and letters obscured by the blur of passengers rushing down the busy corridor with their rolling luggage trailing behind them like obedient dogs. The frenzied bustle disoriented my focus and spread the words on the screen into a fuzzy haze. I'd never taken drugs before. I didn't even know the correct terminology for saying I hadn't, but I was fairly certain the dizzying fog had to be similar to tripping on LSD. Did you take drugs, or did you do drugs? Or was it you took drugs from someone and then did them? All I really remembered was to just say no, and that's what I wanted to do right now. Tell Lance that no, he couldn't leave me alone for the next month and a half. I was ready to put my elementary school-learned refusal skills to work. "We'll be fine," he assured once more, stooping down to search my eyes. I nodded quickly, trying to believe him because he sounded so sure. If I looked long enough into those baby blues, it would be all the assurance I'd need. He could convince me with just one heartfelt look, the DNA-certified charmer that he was. Lance was convincing in all areas of his life. I'm sure that had a little something to do with his selection for the internship in Washington. He was politician material through and through, and even I wasn't immune to his ability to reassure and persuade the most stubborn of individuals. Not only was I not immune, I think I was completely infected. And I could be quite a stubborn and resistant individual. That might actually explain the nickname of Mule Lance gave me after our chemistry class together our sophomore year of high school. I had been adamant we had to note the mass of the volumetric flask prior to filling it with our liquid sample, and he was certain we didn't. We went back and forth the entire duration of the lab and never did turn in our assignment. It seemed like a silly thing to put up a fight over, but I think Lance saw it as an opportunity to challenge me. And when you were someone like Lance, the son of both an affluent lawyer and a representative in Congress, when the opportunity for an argument arose, you jumped on it. It's what you did. It's what you were good at. The challenge was the thrill, and these past 6 years with Lance by my side had definitely been thrilling, to say the least.
"Darby,"
he whispered against my forehead.
"I'll see you in just a month and a half. It will fly by."
I snickered audibly under my breath. "Maybe for you, with your fancy galas and political soirees," I teased, fingering the hem of his red Stanford t-shirt that hugged his toned upper half. "But honestly, the most important thing I'll do this summer is watch paint dry." Lance's shoulders lifted with laughter and he cupped my chin in his hands. I shook my head under his grip. "I'm not joking, Lance. Sonia and I literally have to repaint the townhouse or Gustav's keeping our cleaning deposit. I'm not being figurative here. We're totally gonna park our folding chairs in front of the wall and watch paint chip number SW7036 dry. You're completely jealous right now. Don't even try to hide it."
"He's not making us repaint ours."
Lance popped an eyebrow up that indicated our landlord's favor for his apartment's tenants over mine. "Because you're a McIverson. Seriously, have you ever once had to do anything you didn't want to do?" Lance twisted his lips and scrunched his nose.